LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
After G2 pulling a pretty incredible comeback on the second map of Inferno, we will head to Cobblestone. More shaky ground for mousesports and a confident map for G2. This is a very good chance for the Frenchies to take it 2-1 and therefore qualify for the playoffs in first seed.
Yeah. mousesports got to be kicking themselves after dropping the ball on Inferno there. Yep. G2 giving them every opportunity to clinch that victory and go 2-0 into the playoffs with a perfect score. That's not the case, though. And going into Cobblestone, as you mentioned, not necessarily the safest map for mousesports. They've already played it at this tournament, ended up in a loss versus SK, and also an overtime loss versus Virtus Pro. And it's the latter one there that kind of has me shook a little bit.
Yeah, VP that went to 3 maps and multiple overtimes against MVP, the biggest underdog in this entire event, and for mousesports to lose a map to them is quite worrying. But again, you know, they've had signs of life on the other maps. You know, obviously we saw them take the first, nearly take the second. They've obviously beat SK in a best of 3 as well, aside from on Cobblestone. So, you know, individually they're good enough, but when it comes down to their preparation on this map, I feel like they really are going to have a tough time.
Yeah, it's going to be rough, and I think G2 is just a difficult team to play versus on Cobble as well. Not any side is necessarily easy to take. If you go towards A, you have to run into Apex and Kenny. Apex has been playing lights out this entire tournament. I don't see any reason why that should stop at this point. And obviously, Shoxy over towards that B-bomb side is never easy to deal with, and he's going to have backup from NBK and Body too. And Body, especially obviously having a much better second game than what he had on Mirage, it's going to leave him with a bit of confidence going into the final map.
So what's your prediction with this one? Obviously, we don't have sides yet, so that makes a big difference. But how far do you think this is going to go? Do you think it's going to be a confident game for G2, or will this be close?
I think they have all the reason in the world to feel confident about, first off, being able to mount that comeback with how many mistakes they made on Inferno. They know that they should know if they just kind of normalize and normalize their play, they should be better than the mousesports on this map. So I'm still leaning towards G2. That was my prediction at the start of the match as well. I don't see really any reason to stray away from it. But obviously with how well mousesports have done on Inferno as well, and just how solid they looked on Mirage, I wouldn't put it past them to actually give G2 a fight. But I'm still expecting G2 to close it out.
One knife round ahead of us first, so we can see who starts where. Obviously G2 loving the T-start on every map, even the maps that aren't favoured, but Cobble certainly is. So going to be pivotal that they pick up that knife round if they want to pick their starting side. But mousesports, obviously the underdogs for this final map.
mousesports have won the knife on both maps so far, right?
Boost. Huh? Yeah, they have. They got CT on Mirage and on the Inferno.
Yeah, this time though, not going to have that luxury, so G2 getting that choice as to where they want to start things off. Again, we've seen a bit of change up. You saw SK starting on the CT side, even though we expected them to start T. I think G2 should probably be comfortable doing do it any which way, really. They've also, you know, in likeness to mousesports, played Cobble at this event. They play versus Renegades in their opener. Had a pretty solid CT half, getting 10 rounds there. But I would say that speaking, you know, comparing Renegades to mousesports is a bit unfair to mousesports in that sense. I think they're, you know, a step above, even though Cobble might not be their comfort pick. So we'll see what it amounts to. Inferno, that was our previous map. Cobble is the one at hand, and all G2, they're going to start on that CT side.
Interesting to see teams consistently do that now, both SK and G2. And look at this play on the pistol. Straight into middle. Aggression here. Oscar holds passive, but he won't hit the shot. That was a free kill for him, but Body's going to react in time. Stiko's still holding that rotate. MBK surely going to check this corner, but not if he's baited by the players at the back of the hallway. Rops, again, P250 on pistol. He ran this versus SK every map, and he always seemed to get an opening kill. This time is no different. And Sunny has now crept into B with G2 getting aggressive on the other side of the map. So a lot of map control his way. With him in the drop down, G2 might expect this position, but now they're going to start to burst out. Rops again just decapitates another player, traded by Shocks towards the rock, and Stiko with the bomb on the site. This plant can come in. He's taking the fight though. Apex going to get caught by that aggression from Sunny into the drop down, and that's well played of him to hold that position, not chase too heavily, not overextend, and he will be able to finish off with a couple of kills.
Rob's there being instrumental for mousesports to able to stabilize once they lose that opening pick onto Oscar. Actually, a little bit surprised to see that G2 didn't opt for a more aggressive stance on B with that solo player. I feel like there's no real point of having him towards B if you're going to set up for a retake anyway, because he's not going to hold him back. So you might as well have him play from, for instance, Plateau and see if he can find early information in that case. Also would have allowed for some of the G2 players to kind of hang around instead of trying to push behind immediately on A, while there were, you know, at least 2 G2 members could have backed off and helped with the support there.
Oscar going for the JW.
Yeah. Well, sawed off. So likely destination is drop room.
Oh, wow.
It's a meaty nade. Quite a few meaty nades actually. Rob's still going to survive though. Oh, Sunny's there to back him up as well. 6 HP on Robs, but still going to be perfectly fine. Oscar finally puts that sawed off to use as well, and Shoxy with the scout over towards that A-bomb side, all by his lonesome. He's going to try to hold on to that into the next round as well.
Yeah, I feel like the first time we saw more use of nades from that position was when North at EPL Finals last year. They threw like 2 or 3 people on top of the tree, and then they threw nades into the entrance of B, well, B long, and that's when I first saw it myself. I think that was the first time it was used. And yeah, would G2 go for a similar setup, more focus just throwing from the site, and yeah, it does damage, but Rob's just living with 6 points of health. Got to be careful though, because the scout's here. Shox is in the spawn, or at least near it. Rob should be able to get away with his gun though, and mousesports are 2-0. Flawless as well is pretty good start to this map. Again, T side as well.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of start they need as well. Start building up that economy. Obviously get the easy rounds out of the way. We did manage to fluff it a bit up on Inferno, obviously winning both pistols there, but in the second half getting reset immediately after. And again, if you look back to it, that could have also again been, you know, the final dagger into the back of G2. But kept breathing. We're given more and more opportunities to get back into it, and once they got rolling with steam, it couldn't be stopped. So Scout still in hand on Shoxy. That's pretty much going to be the only investment. MBK picking up a Zeus. I'm assuming he's going to hang out and drop room. We try to jump someone. Yep, there we go. Setting up for the boost. Doesn't really seem like mousesports are too bothered with that though. Quick tempo towards that B plateau already out. MBK does find Oscar though.
That should be it though. You'd like to hope.
Yeah, no, again, Oscar just dropping a sawed off as well, so there's not really anything MBK can do in terms of running out onto the site, trying to take long-range battles. Sawed off definitely not the weapon for that. What they can do is try to see if Shoxy can find some tags. They're boosting up above the smoke here. And if he does land maybe one shot onto Crochet, he might go down. If not, just soften up a couple of others, and then he can sacrifice body maybe.
Ooh. Oh, he looked for the headshot. That's why it took so long, but not going to hit it. Sunny stays alive, and MBK just holding for these exits still in the drop down. Robs is at the top side, but cleverly so not going to push. MBK might catch J, but too fast. MP7. This guy loves the MP7. He was even running it in
buy rounds.
one of the last T rounds, yeah, when they had money to go for the AK in Inferno.
Body just trying to hold on to absolutely nothing, really. I guess.
Don't give away money.
Yeah, don't give away money, even if it's 300 or 600. Regardless, just want to give as little of an edge to mousesports as humanly possible. But mousesports already done their part, really. As you can see, plenty of cash on there, and Oscar going to go immediately to that op. The rest of his teammates sitting at from 5.5 to about 7K.
No head armor as well. Chris J on the MP7 going to be a bit more lethal than expected, I guess, into this buy if you can hit those headshots.
That's definitely a valid point to make.
Ooh. Are they going to do this again? Oscar running out of plateau with a AWP. Last time he dropped off Broken Wall against SK, and that did not work, but this time he holds his position, luckily enough. If he went aggressive here, he could have been easily taken down, because G2 have heavy control, at least towards, you know, kind of passive angles on the site. They have the drop down, obviously, with 2 players, but Shox is holding the angle on the cross. Rops on the cross, and he's dead. Chris J hits the shot at long range with an MP7. No head armor for G2, and they're going to regret that decision. Chris J follows up. Second kill. Not even going to take the gun off the body of Shox. He's just going to continue to push.
I'm very curious about the, what the thought process of G2 is there in that scenario. They don't have a lot of utility, so they can either spend it immediately, get into forward positions, or they can hold on to it for a retake. But the problem is they have smokes for the retake and flashes. They don't have any Molotovs. So a retake is going to be extremely hard regardless. And if you obviously just let the entirety of mousesports more or less walk onto the site, doing equal numbered retakes on that B-bomb site is a really tough task. So not really sure what the means behind that was. Gonna get punished with it as well. Obviously very fortunate for Chris J that everyone on the G2 side have nothing really to hold on to, and that's gonna net him 3 kills.
Perfect.
And
Making a
free
lot
Colts.
of money.
So free rifles, a lot of cash. He's gonna be a happy camper. G2 on there, and though not as much. And Kenny going with the op purchase.
Why even upgrade it if you're Chris? They don't have money here.
Well, I guess, you know, if a free Colt is in front of you, you pick it up, right?
Well, you say that. He ran into drop down without getting the guns there, but either way, yeah.
Well, at that point,
safer decision. Definitely
he was a man on a mission, right?
Yeah. mousesports so fast into B again. They may not be expecting such investment from G2 with a shotgun and an AWP, or even with armor pistol. So got to be very careful here. Flashes are good, but Shox isn't blind. However, he is dead. Chris J with the M4. 1 frag. Sunny follows up, and G2 forced out the site by the smokes of mousesports. This is a perfect execute. G2, it may have forced up with this buy, but it doesn't seem to be getting too much done. MBK grabs his 2nd kill of the round for G2, but at that point, this round is looking to be over.
Yeah, Apex bailing out because Apex has no intent of being any part of this. He's already in CT spawn with his Mag 7. Unfortunate though, considering Chris J was down to 10 HP. But they're going to set up for exit frags here and hope for the best.
And again, Chris J, you know, since you were saying since he became this cooler role for this team, he's been putting himself in a lot of entry frag positions. And yeah, you know, sometimes that does show why he's at the bottom of the board, because, you know, if he's getting taken down on every entry and traded by a 2nd player in, you know, he may not be getting all those kills. But this map is showing how well he's doing. He's at 7-1 right now, 5 rounds into the game, opening up a lot of these bomb sites.
Yeah, definitely doing his part. We'll go down to the bomb. Minor, a little bit of a minus in his notebook.
But still max money, so it doesn't even really matter.
He's just flush with cash. He's going to have to spend a little bit of it, though. But mousesports off to a great start. And what we saw, you know, similar trend here, obviously not necessarily going up against buys all this time, but versus SK as well. Once mousesports decided to keep the tempo high in all of these rounds, they were finding success. It was when they slowed down and started moving towards this A bomb site that they ran into issues. Fur and Fallen just combining to make it really rough. And well, Apex and Kenny, not that much easier. And instead it's going to be MBK to join in with Kenny early on. Probably because of that Mag 7 on Apex. Result is the same. So yeah, mousesports, let's see if they actually go back to just speedy B pushes, because that's what netted them rounds versus SK. And so far this A attempt has not been very successful. Bomb drop down in mid as well.
Shox has actually wrapped drop down from pushing B long, and he's now behind Robs. I'm not sure if Robs realizes that factor, but he's going to go down. Yeah, Shox completely flanked him. That was pretty clever.
With his food. Oh, Kenny moving slightly forward here, seeing if he can find Sunny. Doesn't want to give up the op, obviously. Sunny, though, tucked inside of danger, just waiting for someone from G2 to start hunting after him. It's going to be really tough for him to hold on to this weapon with 45 seconds left. But economy of G2 obviously not in a pristine place. Kenny really the only one with a bank. He is sitting at 5k, though. That is a substantial amount. MBK, he's going to take the challenge here. And the jig is up. Sunny's position is given. Body comes in from behind. So perfect round for G2 Esports. mousesports, though, the big question for me here, the entire T side, is how long or how many times they're actually going to try to change up what they're doing, really. Because, you know, the old mantra of, you know, never change a winning team, or, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
That rings very true. If G2 have no response to mousesports' quick entries towards the B bomb site, there's no reason for them to stop doing it. This is one of the reasons why, you know, the old Immortals lineup was so successful on this map. They would constantly just rush B because people had immense trouble of stopping it.
Well, this time G2 have money, so they have that utility to put down. This is something that they were lacking in the first few rounds. mousesports having good control over the money. G2 at least can contest this, so mousesports won't even try and go for the quick play. Instead, they set up early outside of B. So definitely looking at this site, but not an early commitment or rush, expecting G2 to have pretty significant weaponry and utility, and that is the case. Lots of Molotovs still held on to by G2, and smokes, in fact, so this utility will go a long way into the round unless mousesports throw some kind of fake and try and force them out, but with only 3 smokes to play with and only a couple of flashes, it's a risky move. Some of those smokes going out, one towards the drop. Sunny's going to try and get control. He gives away the info. They know he's in there. He's got a teammate now. Oscar's going to join him, playing anti-flash just in case MBK gets a bit aggressive.
And they're just going to wait out this smoke. Flash coming in, so they know somebody's outside a window. And this might prompt another rotation from the G2 squad. We see Kenny moving in towards connector with that off. Bodies shifted over towards the site.
Oh no, Rops his flash, his teammate got... was that Shox? His teammate flashed him? He comes in from the back lines anyway, swaps positions with the enemy and gets 2 kills. That's more than he would have bargained for in that position. Kenny S now on the site. There's one from Oscar leaving the drop down, and he sees Sunny as well, but Apex is ready and waiting. G2, 2 rounds on the board. Messi from mousesports not working out at all. Now we've got enough money, but spread thinly. They've got to work out how they want to throw this over and invest, but they've plenty of money to actually go for the real buy. So there will be 4 rifles. I mean, even potential for the AWP if they want to pull it in this early.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Chris J dropping an AK toward, an op towards Oscar. Stico still has money to drop an AK to both Rops and him, so that shouldn't be an issue. Well, it's going to be Sunny to buy up the op actually. So they might go for a double op actually. Oh, okay. Chris decides to go with an AK. So, let's see what's in store. mousesports, though, it still feels like tempo is going to be the key for mousesports to find success here on this this T side.
Yeah, definitely.
In both instances where they have slowed down or been slowed down, haven't found too much success. But away we go. Timeout is over. Teams have talked things through. And they're going to opt to go towards more of a default setup here. Really spread out and just awaiting it. So it's going to be a slow pace, and see how this pans out for them. Only Rob's really making any sort of noise towards B.
And G2 expecting the B play again, because you can see Apex goes to B, throws his early smoke on the plateau, and then runs back towards the A site. A, not a position where you need as much utility to hold. You can kind of take those range battles down middle, or just, you know, wait for your rotations, because there's so many positions to continually fall back from. The B site doesn't have the pleasure of having. Rob's already finding an opening towards the drop down, and now, if he can take control, he can split towards the A bomb site. But look at the close positioning from G2 on that side of the map. We've got both Kenny pushed up with the AWP and Apex with the AK as well on long. mousesports about to come around this corner. They need to trade this kill because Kenny's surely going to hit the first shot. He always does. Ready on the corner. Sunny. Bait peek is perfect, but will they expect Apex? That's a big no. That's a big frag as well. 2 from Apex. Looking for a third, but it's Chris J to trade. Still Kenny on the other side. And so mousesports will fall back. They won't continue with that push. They still have the time to play with, but not the utility. In the meantime, Robs hasn't taken drop, but Shox has pushed all the way up, and the question is, will they expect this? He's holding the off angle because he hears the footsteps, and Chris J not going to look around the corner. There's one trade from Stiko. Maybe should have played the tricky discipline because now mousesports are in a 2-on-2. Rops has taken drop. Body's aware of the possibilities due to the frag earlier on in the round, and Rops is waiting for the time to strike. That Molotov is going to force Body to move, and Rops hears the steps. One more for him. Kenny S, last man up with the AWP. Rops looking for the 3K, and there it is.
Nice double peek from mousesports there. Not leaving anything up to chance, but yeah, I think Shoxy definitely had an opportunity there to hold off. Obviously, it's kind of difficult to gauge whether or not Chris J can actually see you, in his field of view or not. And obviously, if you wait and he does, that just spells instant doom for you. So you want to get what you can in that kind of a situation. If you had a little bit more time, probably could have tucked himself away in the corner. What does surprise me a little bit more, though, is I would have expected him to hear the drop from Robs, but I guess all the shots firing around him probably muffled that sound. Otherwise, Body would have been more aware of it. Robs once again finding the opening towards B. And really, it's really important for mousesports actually for this to work. And they, Robs finding these frags pretty much on his own without any sort of assistance at all. Just spreads the defense of G2 so thin.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row. He's found the opening kill. One towards drop, one towards long. And G2 going for the risk with one man towards A, while mousesports have a lot of pressure here. Obviously, it's because we've seen so much presence on the B site from mousesports, and that's why G2 want to go for the gamble stack, but that will change. They'll move MBK over to throw some utility, only to fall back again towards the connector. So they give up drop down. Again, possibility opens for Rops. G2 still have 3 towards B, however fast rotations to either side with connect control being the main focal point of the CT side. But look at that nade, that's perfect. Body tagged down early on, flash to follow. mousesports won't push, the smoke is down. But they have so much utility here. This is going to be so easy to go for an execute. I mean, if Stiko just gets his 1 kill to Apex, they could even throw the smokes and back off and run back up A, because it's very dependent on this one pick from Stiko. Does he go early and try and fake it, or does he go late? He's going to go for the late option, but Apex is pushed up. So that kill goes the way of the CT side. Body and Kenny S just absolutely tearing mousesports apart, and this leaves 2 players up. Body knows Sunny's still in the drop room as well, and so Oscar's got to try and get a pick out through the plateau. Does move into the site, but MBK catches the cross, and that should be over. 10 seconds left. Sunny can't do this, surely.
There shouldn't be any reason for him to do so now. You just need to get away, Apex. All right, so G2 could have played that way safer. No reason for MBK to take that challenge. Apex should just get out of dodge at that point. But regardless, they do win the round. Really heads-up play from Apex there, though. Yeah. Obviously, he knows that Stiko has been around there, but that's 30 seconds ago. I wouldn't fault him for assuming that Stiko had joined up with the rest of his teammates at that point. After throwing the molly, for instance, down into mid and just ducking out. Instead, going for the aggressive pop flash just at the right time. Probably just to get that kind of confirmation as the attack is starting to, set its course towards B. The second those nades come out from mousesports, that's just kind of his go-ahead signal to clear out whatever angle there is towards A-halls. And that probably is what wins them the round, honestly, in the end. Obviously, great job from the ones stuck on the B side still, but if Stiko is left in a situation where he can come in on the backstab, then that would almost guaranteed just destroy the entirety of G2's defense.
6-3 up for mousesports, still in their favor. But G2, with the better by far, mousesports actually forcing up. So they actually got a soft reset after G2 got 2 rounds. mousesports pulled it back, and then we had the buy. Yep. Now they're going back in G2's favor. Essentially, it's resetting onto mousesports. So this money really isn't great. That's why we have a force, and mousesports waiting for the bonus to build up. If they can get this round, that'd be great, but they're not expecting it, especially not with G2 having good weaponry, and even with the lackluster utility, they have the guns. MBK on the shotgun as well. Body on top of the tree, mollied off. He's going to have to smoke that out. Does he drop or does he commit? The question remains. He will fall off the angle, but Kenny S is going to go down, and aggression through the smoke. Well timed from G2. Perfect cohesion. There's only 2 men left up. Make it 1. MBK is making cash, and Stiko's only just clearing out that smoke. He's going to go down. Great round for G2. Nice to push there, because they know they're up against pistols. They want to stop that bomb from going down.
All right, Apex is a man possessed right now. Doing really well for himself, just continuing that good form from both of the first 2 maps. Well, first maps is a bit of a stretch. They did lose 16-2, but Inferno. It's 10-5 he's sitting on right now. And G2 slowly inching their way closer. They obviously, with the head armor purchase on mousesports, realized that that was a force by coming in from them. So a bit of an opportunity to get some money, and that's why we see the MP9 in the hands of Shox.
This really isn't a round that we can expect mousesports to get too much done.
Shox going really aggressive. He really wants to make some money here.
And he's got support as well. Maybe they don't even know he's pushed up this far. Nade will finish off Oscar. You do hate to receive that nade. Shock's going to try and follow up. Body's there for support once again. Pistol out. Finally going to get overwhelmed, but it's a very small consolation for mousesports. They still only have 2 members intact for now, and G2 are coming in for the cleanup.
A couple of bullets being put into MBK from Body there. Fully aware of the positions from the remaining mousesports members, and they're just going to go on a really aggressive hunt here. No real need for this, but
yeah, I like it. You know, it's not required, and it's risky in terms of money if mousesports get a couple of kills, but it just builds up confidence. You know, getting that DM on, mousesports getting scared, and you know, losing all these gunfights. Never good for confidence going forward. So G2 just flexing their muscles there, and now we have the buy from mousesports, but the money is only just allowing this. They won't have that AWP. They'll have utility, but they have to win this round or get a bomb plant if they want to buy up in the next.
Yep, that's accurate. Well, so things starting to turn the tide towards the favor of G2. And mousesports feel the need to talk things over. Didn't see too much pan out for them in terms of the tactical pauses on Inferno. Never really managed to hold G2 back or put an end to them. It remains to be seen if this could be a different story. G2 are looking pretty alright for now. It's really only Shox he has to completely empty out his account. He could have potentially gotten a drop, but he is playing with that silenced Colt. So maybe he opts to, you know, he values that as much or so much that he'd rather spend his own money to get it instead of actually taking a drop. Because it is much to be said for having the familiarity, obviously.
Yeah.
Of it. And this is 1 tactical pause remaining for mousesports. That can't be right, surely.
They've used, I can count 2, but I can't think of the third. Either way, it's fast for mousesports. They are looking to speed up the pace after that break. Rop's in a position that Stiko usually likes to take up, but still a good man for the job. We saw a lot of use out of this position last time they played this map, but Shox is 1 step ahead. I like how G2 are aware of that. They stay intact. Stiko going to try and push up towards the A side. Apex put down to 16, but without that kill, he's still going to be a massive nuisance. And Kenny has a cross as well. There's his shot. Looking for more. Apex strikes with only 10 points of health. That's more than enough for him. Now, mousesports regretting not being able to finish off that kill. Apex going to go in for another frag. There it is. Ooh, mousesports. They are getting mown down.
They really are. And they actually have used 3 pauses. Used 1 obviously, right after G2 started picking a couple of rounds, and then a second one 2 rounds later. So yeah, they're really starting to get pressured here. And again, if I'm mousesports now, you're not really finding much success towards A. The 1 round you got there was a bit of an anomaly. And then outside of that, it's been quick tempo towards B. So you know, maybe just kind of roll with the punches and go, just try that, see how many times it can work. Obviously now it's going to be pistols, so it's going to be tough anyway. Smoke goes down to extinguish the Molotov, but MBK is ready to greet Sunny and his friends.
Oh, careful. MBK doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Body certainly will. Aggressive up on the tree, 2 for him. MBK does pick up 1 more, and yeah, pistols again go nowhere. mousesports just getting wrecked again. Finally, they have the buy. This is what we're waiting for. The AWP that we've not seen too much of on this T side, especially in the previous few rounds at least. These fast B plays aren't working since G2 got utility. And that's been the thing, right? mousesports were, what, 6-0 or 5-0 at one point, and they were just hitting B every single round. And then as soon as G2 actually had money to get this AWP, to get the rifles in play, it's been all theirs.
But we haven't really seen mousesports commit fully with their team into a B rush. It's been Rops as the sole guy running out towards Plateau, and he's gotten naded or he's gotten found out when he's hidden in the cubby, that kind of thing. But we haven't seen a full committal from mousesports in that sense.
Yeah, the 1 round they did do it was on those pistols where G2 ran through the smoke. So yeah, you are right. Yeah, I would like to see that actual standard execute from mousesports, but this is okay. They're holding the default, waiting for G2 to get aggressive, and in this position, very possible that G2 would. Just got to be careful they don't lose any men, and if they do, they need to trade.
So they're setting up. Already smoked off connector here. But 3 players from G2 awaiting for the push, and this is going to be the wrap that we saw them do versus SK as well. Stico getting caught out, but the remainder of the forces for mousesports and towards B. Actually, though, Chris J is still stuck around towards A here. He's going to get found out by Apex. Wins out the duel, though, and that sends the bomb flying towards A again. G2 not really sure what to make of this. They do know Sunny could be hanging around here still towards B. Always going to get spotted out as well, and Chris J dies on site. So that leaves Oscar with an AWP and a bomb, and no real promise of actually making it to a bomb site. Kenny S doesn't actually hold the angle to cross for sight here, so Oscar could actually make it all the way forward, but considering the situation Oscar finds himself in, he probably wants to remove at least one G2 player before he tries to go for a plant. And you can see he's moving aggressively forward, and that's going to be right into the sights of Kenny S. So 8-6 for G2. They're really putting their imprint on this match so far. That's 6 rounds in a row. And right before that, you know, it's just a matter of resetting mousesports economy. So 8 out of the last 9 rounds. Not looking like they're actually going to give up another one until they swap halves. And, well, once again, we're seeing Apex picking up that auto sniper. Didn't really see too much time on Inferno, but the one round they did have it. Did pick up a couple of kills. And the buy from mousesports, not the greatest. Very little utility. 3 Galils, a UMP, and an AK. That's all they have to fight for their lives with.
Here's the executor. The only issue is it's right as we have all these snipers in play, so not the best response from mousesports up against this buy. We'll see how much they can do with it. Kenny is just shooting off shots on the back of the coop. Doesn't matter that he goes down the round, should be in the favor of G2. It's Oscar again to clutch. And yeah, complete mowdown. I feel like I'd like to see mousesports throw that strategy in a few rounds earlier, because
when they have a couple of smokes, for instance.
Yeah, like they threw a couple in, but I mean, you know,
they didn't have a smoke for. They didn't have a smoke for Big Block. They didn't have necessarily a Malta for Chicken Coop. Like
one right side rock smoke, and
I think it's like that, right? I think that would have been the way to go for mousesports, and I felt the same when we saw them play versus SK as well. So it remains to be seen if they you know, pick up on that eventually, or if they, you know, feel like they're making other mistakes. Obviously, that is leading to the lack of success on the T side, because they do keep going back to their defaults and these A takes. We saw the split once more, you know, the kind of pseudo fake towards A with Stico running up mid.
Yeah,
that did work out versus SK, obviously, because Stico was able to make his way up in that sense, but got tagged by Fallen and so on.
I do feel like G2 watched that game and have taken notes, but either way, we're into the pistol round, and mousesports, they need to pull this one back if they want any chance. This is going to be a big round for them. But body, nice opener. Kenny to follow. G2 looking crisp in his pistol. Rops can only get one before he gets traded. And mousesports, I mean, how much more can they really do? Sunny catches a kill. Maybe Kenny as well. He does. MBK trades. But Oscar, this is doable. He won't check the corner. And Apex catches him. But yeah, I was going to say, I feel like SK have done their research, because everything that seemed to get picks for mousesports against SK, so as you say, the Stico run up mid, the Rops or Stico get into position on the end of plateau in that corner, you know, it's been read very well, and it seems like G2 are always ready for these little, just tiny little bits of information, yeah, and changes that the mousesports are throwing in. And so they definitely come into this one prepared, but I can see why they picked CT side now. And with the pistol as well, this is going to be even more confident for G2 going forward.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what kind of tempo G2 decides to come out with. Not necessarily versus their anti-ecos. They probably want to play that as safely as possible. They do have 2 Molotovs instead of to clear close angles. Also working in a group mode. 3 people towards A halts. Well, it's really when mousesports get their hands on rifle. I'm interested to see whether or not G2 are going to go for, you know, that straight up B execute, just put a ton of pressure on mousesports immediately, or if they're going to slow things down, play default, and just try to get picks. For now, though, they are grouping up towards B after having created a little bit of a gap in the defense on A, which forces one mousesports member to play towards connector. So Stico had an opportunity to find a frag there, not going to connect with anything at all, and Shox is going to be able to down him. So
yeah, had to move out of that position, was expecting Molotovs to come through as they did. Rops, only man on the B-bomb site being wrapped on the backside, but Kenny going to get him from the lane, so Sunny 1v4. Maybe good with the Deagle, but this is a bit too much to ask for. There's Shox dead, and with that, Sunny probably
bails out. He's got a smoke in Kevlar. That's well worth taking into the next round. He has no hope of actually winning this, so no real point in challenging too much. And it seems like he's going to come to that realization himself. Starts moving away from the bomb site. Maybe if there's a chance that somebody from G2 could potentially hunt after him, and they have just thought the better of it. But Sunny decides to stick around at least in some vicinity of the bomb.
Very quiet map as well for Oscar. Him and Stiko both sitting on 5 kills. This is a player that, we need to see on that AWP. And while we haven't seen a lot of AWPing on the T side so far from mousesports, moving into the second half, if he can get that AWP, maybe could kickstart some rounds with some of those mid picks.
It definitely could. And we did see, I think it was one AWP round from Oscar that comes to mind, and that was when he was trying to be aggressive on Plat. Yeah, didn't really make anything out of it. Obviously, Cobble isn't the most lenient map to play T-side AWP on, but player of Oscar's caliber, you kind of have expectations as well. So let's see. Should be another fairly easy round. I have some doubts that that was the smoke Sunny wanted to throw on the B bomb side. Shox, on the other hand, though, has made his way up towards A. He's going to get taken out by Oscar. Does very insignificant damage. Does give away an MP or a MAC-10 as well. But again, he's just kind of trying to get information for his team.
Contact for the rest of G2 as well, so mousesports don't have any idea. Oscar's not ready for that second push from MBK, and Kenny will clear out the site too. This is their site, as mousesports really can't contend with this one. Rops is maybe going to catch out Apex here, but no, only the dink, and that will be his death. With that frag, maybe mousesports can contest with this round, but no, not anymore. Sunny and Chris J, all about damage here. Apex caught in the open. Good shot from Chris. Sunny, MAC-10 versus rifles, and maybe will win that battle. He does get one, and maybe just saves his AK. That would be good. He might be considering at least going for one more fight, but the issue is they're double peeking. So if he does, probably going to get traded, even if he gets one kill. He's looking for it. He wants to find an opening. There's MBK, but faster on the trigger. G2 12-6, and mousesports now with a buy. Do they have the money for the AWP? Because that's my question. No.
Well, they do if Sunny wants to completely
break the meta.
Yeah, well, if he just wants to go glass cannon, Colt, and that's not necessarily something you want to do. So they're going to opt for utility and rifles instead. I think that's the right choice to go, honestly.
Ooh.
Well, 2 MAC-10s on the side of G2. That's interesting. It might indicate some aggression early on. Then again, we have seen French teams do 5 MAC-10s in buy rounds. So.
And Russian teams, if we think back to the major as well.
Waiting squadron. Different map, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Body probably wishes he had a different weapon there, but Apex shows him how it's done and ends Sunny.
Oh my god.
BK does get Oscar at least, but Rob's there. Finds 3 frags. That's incredible. Kenny S is able to deal with him, but not before Robs has just really put holes into that G2 squad. Probably shouldn't be allowed to get away with 3 kills there, but just excellent transfers, solid precision as well. And now Chris J already made his way onto side. He's standing in the open though, so if Kenny finds the right timing here, could be a real disaster. Stiko's pretty far away still. He's going to be wrapping around through mid. He did this quite a bit versus SK as well. So you might expect G2 to know about this. Oh, Kenny gives up his position.
It's unfortunate as well. Doesn't get a kill for it. You'd hope in this position you get your first frag for free, and then you can take a 1v1, but now he's got the flank. Look at Stiko's position. He's so ready for this. Kenny tries to spray, tries to look back as well at Chris J, who he expects to peek, but he'd already fallen off the broken wall. Stiko will get it done. And mousesports, lifeline, an opportunity back into this map potentially, but the issue is G2 can and will still buy into this. Loads of cash to play with on the T side, and the CT's only keeping 2 men alive. The money, yeah, it's good enough for this round, but will it be good enough for next? If G2 find 13, I think this game is looking to be almost over, because mousesports won't have money. They have max $1,400 on Oscar, and that's just not enough. They're going to get $1,400 loss bonus to add to that, so most cash they'll have is about $3,000. So mousesports really need to win this round. They need to keep men alive while doing so. Shox speeds up the pace, charging in towards B. He's going to get spammed through the smoke, and Rops, again, a great round in the previous, and already kicking this one off with a frag. Still 2 more players of G2, make it 4 actually up towards long. Stiko got to be careful here. Molotov comes in, he looks away, but at the wrong time. Apex jumps out, doesn't check the corner. Stiko 2 kills, bomb dropped as well. Maybe a third, but Kenny trades. How much more can he get done though? In a 1 versus 4 here, Kenny trying to get onto this B bomb site, but he is stopped instantly. Rops takes another kill, and mousesports, that's a very good round.
Oh, almost as good as they could have hoped for, only Stiko dying there. So they do manage to get a bit more money on their end. That should actually save them for a buy if they were to actually get reset here. G2 on their end though, scraping for cash. Apex has bought up that single AK. With the way he has been playing, that is still a pretty scary thought for them. It could definitely open up the A bomb site here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him moving his way through A halls or mid, as he's done so many times before. It is a 2-man defense here, no ops, but still quite the defense to have to work through if you're G2. And they don't really have any needs or something like that to help clear the angle. So this is just going to be solely down to the individual skill and prowess of Apex. If G2 are going to find anything at all, nearly catches Sunny on a timing. As he brings up the grenades, drops the Molotov, and stays safe for now.
Yeah, still got to be worrying about this gun on Apex. mousesports can't take this round lightly, even though the investment is light from G2, or the majority at least, with these deagles and no armor. Sunny, I like this position. Will they bypass it? Body walking around the corner, not checking the spot. Sunny gets a kill, but the issue is now he's trapped. They've got the T's pinned in between Sunny and Oscar, but it's not exactly a free situation to get yourself out of, because mousesports have now pushed Oscar up towards long, meaning they've given up the A-bomb site. Drops is trying to rotate back in. Oscar trying to force a kill, trying to make this one easier, but look at Apex's position. Yep. He's worked all the way into the connector. Chris J has no idea. Spray does connect, and Apex now taking down one of the B players, running back towards A. Oscar dead as well. This one rifle is doing everything here for G2. A third for Apex. He's shutting down the buy of mousesports. G2, the rest of the team haven't even seen these CTs just yet.
Only 20 seconds remaining, though. They still need to make it on the site. They might not expect Sunny to be there, and he finds 2. Still, though, chance to make it onto the bomb site. Stiko, is he going to be in position to actually stop the cross?
Oh,
he is,
no.
And they line up for 18 HP as well. I kind of figure with the way Apex was starting off that round, would have been able to connect the shots to actually make it happen. But G2 nearly stealing around the way there. Holy cow, Apex doing some work here. 22 kills to his name so far.
And he's been top fragging all 3 maps as well for G2. The one positive to take out of that round for G2 is that's not a round they were expected to win anyway. They got 4 kills, so mousesports money now isn't in the best of situations. You know, if G2
really
pick this one up, they will, mousesports will be on eco, or force at the very least, right? So G2 now are sitting pretty in the sense they know they've at least kept the money at bay with very little investment. Look at this buy. It's still pretty much perfect, other than the lack of armor and some utility. But, you know, if any team could get it done without too much utility, it is going to be G2. So up towards A again, only 1 defender, that's Sunny. Might have to call for some support. We've actually got Oscar in the door as well with that AWP, a player who we need to step up on the second half if mousesports are going to have a chance. But G2 is still leading this one. Confident as ever. Apex up towards long, smoke down. G2 just trying to get rid of this utility for mousesports.
Slower pace this time around. Still fairly spread out defense on the end of mousesports, though. You see only 2 players really just committed to the B bomb site, and a lot of this is going to come down to Chris J and Stiko. Stiko's able to find 2 though, makes up for Chris going down immediately. And now G2 kind of stuck on the bomb site. Stiko's got to take full advantage of that. Oh, what a free fire. And what an ace to cap off the round. Stiko showing his worth for mousesports.
I don't know why this guy gets so much, like, you know, I wouldn't even say hate. I feel like that's the wrong word. I don't think he gets enough appreciation. This guy has been destroying this event.
You know, you talked about it a couple of rounds ago, how Stiko was sitting on 5 frags together with Oscar. Now he's up to 15.
Yeah.
Oscar's on 6. So he's taking a bit of a leap there. Obviously 5 frags in 1 round. That'll do the trick. And what a round it was. The pre-fire onto a G2 player coming out from drop room.
That is just insane.
Picture perfect.
G2 though, look at this pace right into the drop down. How does Rop survive that? 2 kills. Yeah, he gets hunted, but with the dink instantly coming in, he shouldn't have even got 1 frag there. mousesports holding the advantage very heavily. Kenny jumping with the nade, and the bomb going to be dropped as now Sunny has control of that. So mousesports, this is their round to win. Oscar may get blindsided by Apex, but he's going to at least realize he's there. So support called, flash over the top for Sunny, peek onto Apex, but got to be careful. They want to keep as many players alive, knowing how much damage that Apex did just a few rounds prior. And wow, mousesports, they're making this game look a lot closer than it was earlier on. This is now 12-11, and still Oscar, as you say, 6 kills. Everyone else, minimum of 13.
Yeah. It's a team effort, this, and well, G2 need to talk things over. They do have the money to buy, obviously, in this round, but they're struggling to find new openings in the defense of mousesports. And well, to be fair, both teams kind of went through the same kind of struggle. Started off the half pretty well, and eventually the CT side just decided to put a full stop to it. That said, though, G2 have been close on occasions, especially that round where Stico is able to line them up on A there after the solo AK buy from Apex. I'm really curious to see what G2 can come up with. They do have an op on Kenny S. So that op battle is definitely in play. Chris J is also going to be a part of that action. Well, let's see. All the utility they could have wanted. Molotovs and smokes galore. So it's all in the hands of G2.
mousesports will manage to pull this one back, that would be incredible. But G2 is still there. Well, more favoured map, I guess you could say. Molotov towards long body, going to smoke it. Shock's wide facing this. Chris has to be aware he is. Shock comes through. Chris, a second kill as well. That's more than he would have bargained for. mousesports now sitting very confident into this round. And with G2 having no money, a bomb plant was needed at the very least, but at this point it doesn't seem realistic. Apex running in through the smoke, trying to do the Stico up towards connector. He smokes door. He'll get his way through. Now, do mousesports realize? I think Rops has an idea. Oh, the timing. Apex doesn't realize he's being flanked as well. Rops will get him from the back line, so mousesports back in control. That could have been a scary push, but luckily Rops had his number, but MBK, one more shot from him. It's going to leave him in 1v4 though, with Kenny S going down, and shot from Oscar midair. MBK going to fly down to the ground.
It's so important that Chris finds those 2 early frags. That allows them to keep 2 players on that A bomb site. Just have a very strong defense altogether. No need for rotation. Nobody's going to get caught out of position. Apex tries for a bit of a Hail Mary there going through the smoke, but obviously smoke goes down, all footsteps all of a sudden vanish, right? And that is a big tell for Robs to know that he hasn't necessarily moved up towards site, and is able to help out the remaining players on B there to make sure they don't get backstabbed. Good to see him a bit of buy though. Less utility, less weaponry from G2. Again, it's that 2-3 setup from mousesports. And obviously with this B side, and in that sense being weakened, it is really the go-to place for G2 to find their mark in this game. They're going to have to deal with both Stico and Chris J, who've doing a really good job of holding everyone back. Have made their way into drop room now. MBK does make a bit of a step, so Robs is fully aware of that. There is presence from the T side down here. Stico also closing the gap. They've given up plateau control completely here. MBK taking the fight versus Stico, not going to win it out. Barely does any damage. Body, Robs, that's a bit aggressive.
Oh no, Stico, he can't follow up on the site either. M4 going to go down, and now it's 2 up for mousesports. Good entries found from G2. That was an unfortunate push from Rops, but a really good bait from Body. He shoots towards Stico out in the E-box, then Rops jumps in from behind, and Body completely turns around. Knew Rops was coming.
Yeah.
G2, 13th round. Of course, this game is close, but after a huge streak from mousesports, as you can see, 6 in a row from the current CT side, it is somewhat brought back from G2. Question is, will this now be reset? Although G2 obviously have plenty of cash to buy up, mousesports, if they find this next round, which they can buy into, G2's money may be compromised. This game is still, you know, balancing. No idea who's going to take this at this point.
Actually, Apex dies to the bomb there. One more man lost for G2. Still though winning the round, that's all they're going to need at this point. But yeah, as you said, that streak from mousesports put them in a pretty decent position to be able to rebuy here. That is what they're going to do. Oscar will get an op in his hands as well. Only Rob's really not having any cash to go for, so mousesports will be able to buy up in a following round as well, even if they were to lose. That's not necessarily the case for G2. They would have to get a bomb plant here. I guess they would potentially buy up with 3 people and then supplement that with CZs or whatnot, but wouldn't be optimal. Instead, they do have an ideal buy going out right now.
Boost up, we haven't seen this yet. Will mousesports expect it? Will they line up? Kenny misses the shot. He's got to follow up. Shox does. Stiko trades, but Kenny's going to miss another one. This is crucial. He needs to find this frag, try and get the man advantage back, but MBK will do it instead. Takes down Stiko from the drop down, and now mousesports limited on B with only 1 man. It is Rops. M4 in hand, spraying away. There's the first. One more and drop to contend with, but he isn't expecting MBK to burst out second place. mousesports now with 2 men just left standing, and trying to get back into the site is going to be Oscar, already dead to MBK, having a great game as well. 3 kills. Sunny, last man up here for the CT side, and probably already going to fall back and save the money for mousesports. And good enough to buy up, but
obviously, save money anywhere you can, and it's not necessarily realistic for Sunny to go for this kind of a retake. But yeah, G2 finally finding the key to victory here, and it's through drop room, really. Even though they are finding a frag on plateau there, it's off of the back of the multi-pronged attack, with pretty much putting mousesports defenders, seeing how they're only playing 3 towards B, in a really rough position where they have to spread their attention so thin they can't necessarily deal with it all. Well, nobody's going to hunt after Sunny. Makes sense on the end of G2, as their money had yet to really get under control. It's going to be a different story now, though. And for mousesports, this might be the final stand. They're going to have to expend a lot of that extra cash that they've built up. As you can see, only Sunny, who saved that previous round, really has too much to write home about. And with him sharing the wealth with his teammates, he's going to be brought down to 2.4. Him and Stiko, only one sitting with any sort of bank. Big round for both teams.
definitely so. And G2 with the last couple, it looked like mousesports were coming back into this game, but G2 seemed to have maintained control, and well done to that. But how much control can they maintain? Shox is posted, flash, and that smoker over actually deep. Pete comes through, Shox misses a shot. That's unfortunate. Could have got him a free pick. Chris J's actually got in a really aggressive position as well. I don't know if they're going to push with this. And Molly, just to make sure that no one's in that left corner. Apex as well. Look at this. He's worked his way up towards A. How's he done this? Sunny has no idea. This is really, really good. And Kenny even has the angle as well. So if Sunny tries to get aggressive, he'll go down, but it doesn't matter because Apex finds that shot. Now the door player dead, and already mousesports calling for reinforcements. Oscar, a slow game so far this map, but he needs to step up here and now. He's the last line of defense for the A-bomb site. Apex crossing out, making a lot of noise. Oscar close, and he can't step up to the mark. Rops has to do so instead up from the balcony, but he just gets sprayed down. Running back, playing safe, and Kenny has hits a shot with the AWP up close. Stiko to trade, and Kenny wrapping the lowers. Chris J dead, and Stiko too. Kenny S is just making this easy, and G2 will find 15 rounds, map and match point here on Cobblestone.
What a hero Apex is, though. Just every time he moves towards that A-bomb site, it spells danger for mousesports. That time, finding those 2 frags to just completely decimate whatever defense mousesports had set up. Even though Oscar finds the first frag, it just has given G2 so much space to get close up onto the site, and by the time the rotations come in, you have 3 G2 players just peering towards that balcony, making it impossible for Stiko and Co to really get anything done. Well, we talked about how there's not much money left for mousesports, and they do manage to get 1 AWP scrapped together for Oscar, but outside of that, it's 2 Mag 7s, a deagle on Chris J. Not a whole lot of utility, and G2 are going to be fully aware of that situation. So that's why we're seeing them play set up so passively initially. Going to be perfectly fine with letting mousesports use the little they have of utility early on. No need to commit to anything at all.
Looked like Robs wanted to challenge that smoke. I would have thought that was a dangerous decision. G2 faking drop control, but the thing is they haven't taken any. They've still got the smoke down, so it's theirs for now, but with no man in there, they can easily back off towards A if need be, but that does not look to be the case with all 5 players on this side of the map. Rob still holding the outside of drop, just constantly repositioning, trying to catch a lucky timing shot to G2.
Well, that's the last smoke for mousesports going out now with 50 seconds left, so still plenty of time for G2 to just wait this out. That's what they're content with doing as well. They've grouped up with all 5 here. Oscar still towards that A bomb site. Stiko, though, with a Mag 7 in a prime position here by Broken Wall, can do a ton of damage as long as he avoids the flash.
Oh, he does avoid the flash, but he can't do that much. Only damage to the first player. They get in, but Chris, he'll stop them at their tracks. 2 shots with the Deagle. Lands to Kenny and MBK, looking for one more as well. If he can make this a 1v2, they can potentially pick this up, but he's dead. Now Oscar has to step up once again. Shox is on the angle. Oscar peeks out wide to Apex, and he'll catch him out of position. It's now Shox v Oscar. The Orb v Orb. Bomb going down on the site. Shox is going to stick with the plant, and that allows Oscar to get through the smoke. Wrapping round, sneaking slowly. Shox just sits on default. Is going to hear the footsteps, and that'll be it. G2 take it, 16 rounds to 12.
That was a no-scope.
Was
FYI, that was a no-scope from Shox. He was not ready for that wide peek from Oscar.
It didn't look like it. He did flick really fast. I was thinking, you know, his zoom sensitivity must be pretty high for him to hit that. That is a crazy shot to finish off a game, and what a game as well. You know, mousesports impressed me in terms of how far they got, but of course G2 on cobblestone, we expected that to go their way. They looked very, very strong. Great attempt to pull it back for mousesports, but G2 were the better team in the series.
There they were in the end. And mousesports, again, their big chance was on Inferno, having really G2 put their backs against the wall. That should have been their one moment to close this out and qualify for the playoffs. Instead, they're going to have to fight it out one more time as G2 are the first team to solidify a spot at the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not over for mousesports, of course, though. They have got plenty more opportunities, and I'm still confident they'll be making it through in the future to join G2 Esports, of course, as well. But either way, that is a loss for now. They will have to have a go another time. And what a map that was, really. I mean, back and forth, it's got to be annoying for mousesports to have brought it so far in Inferno to look like they were going to take the game, and then it goes to overtime and G2 just dominate them there. But either way, a very impressive win nonetheless. And G2, a team that we've talked about, you know, having this high skill ceiling that we know they have, but just not being able to get up the results and consistently take these victories. Now it seems like they're doing well. 3-0 in the best of 3 group stages as well. No upsets against them. They're moving forward into the playoffs with first seed, and frankly, we could be seeing them go far in this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. And a G2 that kind of hits their stride are incredibly dangerous and can deal with pretty much any team in the world, even in best of 3 or best of 5s or what have you. That's just how good they are. But it seems like we're going to talk to one of the main men of the match, Apex. He's standing ready with Paula.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Dan Apex from G2 Esports. They've just taken out mousesports 2-1, and that makes you guys our first team through to the top 8. Round of applause. Unfortunately, we don't have an audience yet, but congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, how did that best of 3 go from your perspective?
Well, it was really hard game because we lost the first map 16-2, which is like a, I don't know how to say, but it's like we got fucked. So yeah, I had to say that. And then the 2 other maps were really close, but we managed to come back on Inferno, which is really hard, and winning Cobble on a good way, I guess. So well played to them. They play really well, and I know that they will go through anyway. So.
Yeah, I did want to ask about that first map, because of course you're reveling in victory right now, but let's talk about potential mistakes that happened. Why do you think that first map went the way it did?
Well, I'm actually the in-game leader on Mirage, but the thing is, I knew how they played. Like Robs is always alone on A, but the thing is, we just shit in our pants to rush him and just like picking connector, etc. We just play like the worst way we ever did. So when you do that, like you just get wrecked. Mainly by your team like them who have huge skill-wise. So that's what happened, and I hope it's not going to happen again in the future.
All right, final thing then, because I don't want to keep you too long. What does it mean to be going through as the first team to the top 8? And then, of course, how are you going to, have a small little relaxation or celebration today? What's going to happen over the course?
Well, the thing is, in the Swiss format, we used to go through most of the time, but we lost in quarterfinal. So our main objective is play like we did in the group stage, because we played pretty well the 3 best of 3. So we need to just wake up and play just better than we did in the last playoff, like in the major Boston. So I hope it's gonna happen, but I'm pretty confident.
Just quickly, you mentioned Mouse. Any other teams that you think will definitely make the top 8?
Of course, SK, FaZe, Navi looks in good shape. I don't know, there are like so many teams, but Cloud9 as well. I don't know for the rest, maybe it's going to be tight. Astralis probably as well. So yeah, it's already like 6 or 7 teams, so it's good. It's good.
All right, well, any final words that you'd like to say?
Nothing else. No, thank you for support, everyone, and see you in 3 days for the playoff.
We'll see you there, but don't go anywhere right now because we've got a bunch of other games going on. Well, one more after this, and we have a second stream going on at the same time. So, bunch of Counter-Strike still to come, and of course, for now, we'll head back to our casters.
A very brash and honest interview from Apex, but you do love to see it, and a great performance from him across all 3 maps, just dominating mousesports as he has been doing, and putting it well in the sense that, you know, they keep losing in quarterfinals, but if they play like they did in the groups, man, this team is going to go far.
Yeah, they're not going to lose in quarterfinals if they play like this. At least if they shape up their Inferno, I'd say. And yeah, Apex definitely want to give candid interviews. Probably still my favorite interview of all time is winner's interview at Assembly. I think it was in 2000 and God knows when. Yeah, he's free spirit in that sense, and he played like an absolute beast in this game. Vital part, definitely the MVP on the side of G2 in this matchup. And saw it towards the end of Cobble as well. You know, they were struggling to find rounds, even in the round where he's the only one buying up an AK, just nearly winning it on his own. And then, as you mentioned, the latter round where he managed to sneak up, yeah, into mid and so on. And this is the eco round, yeah, finding 3 frags, nearly setting G2 up for a much more comfortable win, obviously, but then Stico happens. Overall, just a really entertaining match. And I think Cobble was not necessarily in the same, but I guess it didn't play out in the same manner as Inferno did. Inferno had a lot of mistakes from both teams. Cobble was much more of a well-played side from both opponents.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, it just makes you question what would have happened in this map if Oscar stepped up, if he had the performance he had across the other games, because that was really close, and he ended it with, what, how many kills?
Not a whole
8,
lot.
Something, 9?
Yeah, it's
you know, slow game, which is a shame, but obviously, you know, that's just something you have to deal with. He went 9 in 20, so luckily we had some good performances across the side of mousesports. Obviously, with them dominating the first map as well, they are going to be very confident with Mirage, and moving to the playoffs, you know, when they eventually get there, if they eventually get there, which they should, I'm excited to see how much Mirage they're going to be able to play. Will teams let them get through with it? And of course, you know, how far will they get alongside G2, 2 of the teams that definitely deserve to be in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, no, it's going to be definitely, it's going to be super interesting to see, really. And only time will tell. But for now, it seems like we'll be taking a short break. We still have one map, or one game remaining, and that's going to be Hellraisers versus MVP, the South Korean surprise. So definitely tune back in for that. But for now, we'll see you in a little bit.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? Dreamteam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join Dreamteam.gg today.
Guardians, make it happen this time. Yes, the quick scope. This is unreal. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. You still always a monster, Tom.